when he was having people arrested for going to church, he was having $1,000 a night meals at the French Laundry. And I'm sure the California people won't forget that.
One of Donald Trump's buddies is Scott Bessent. And here he is with, let's say, a little snark as it comes to evil lizard person Gavin Newsom.
I think it's very, very ironic that Governor Newsom, who strikes me as Patrick Bateman meets Sparkle Beach Ken, may be the only Californian who knows less about economics than Kamala Harris. He's here this week with his billionaire sugar daddy, Alex Soros, and Davos is a perfect place for a man who, when everyone else was on lockdown, when he was having people arrested for going to church, he was having $1,000 a night meals at the French Laundry, and I'm sure the California people won't forget that. And I can tell my message to Governor Newsom is the Trump administration is coming to California. We are going to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse. What have his economic policies brought? Outward migration from California, a gigantic budget deficit, the largest homeless population in America, and the poor folks in the Palisades who had their homes burned down. He is here hobnobbing with the global elite while his California citizens are still homeless. Shame on him. He is too smug, too self-absorbed, and too economically illiterate to know anything.
Yeah. That was pretty much all on point, but let's focus on the important part of it, which is that he's half Patrick Bateman, half Sparkle Beach Ken. Patrick Bateman, of course, was American Psycho, and if you have not seen that movie, it is Gavin Newsom. Even the sliminess of that picture, just perfect. And Sparkle, was it Sparkle Beach Ken? Sparkle Beach Ken there over there? Yeah, there he is, and yeah, that's pretty much Gavin Newsom. And by the way, those Barbie dolls, no genitals, and we've talked often about, because he's a lizard person, his testicles are on the inside, so it is even anatomically correct. Here's Gavin Newsom responding to Scott Bessent.
The Treasury Secretary described you as Patrick Bateman meets Sparkle Beach Ken. The White House Communications Director.
That was the U.S. Secretary of Treasury.
I have a couple more, and then you can respond. The White House Communications Director called you Gavin Newsom, and an official White House account, a federal government account, described you with I'd say, very online sexual slur that people here probably don't want to hear at 8:30 in the morning. And you're, in some sense, responding in kind. Waving the knee pads around.
Fire with fire.
Do you think?
Yeah, fight fire with fire. Look, he shouldn't be there. That's the point. He's the governor of a state, and California is an important state with a massive economy and everything else. As Bessent pointed out, you really don't need to think that much about Newsom's policies. I think at the end of everything are people going to or fleeing the place that you govern? And we know that people are fleeing California still in droves. And now that there's this billionaire's tax, which ultimately will become a millionaire's tax and then a middle class tax, and they will start literally looking and going to try to make inventory out of all of the things that you own, even things that are inherited. You get grandma's ring or you get grandpa's stamp collection, and they will try to itemize that. More and more people will flee.